Hello. Good evening, Chuempala. And this time, Chuempala in the real sense. Good evening, Kitwe. Good evening, Dola. Good evening, Mufulira. Good evening, Solwezi, where we received very sad news of the passing of the Patriotic Front Party operative, who unfortunately passed away in the details that we yet to confirm and understand. And so our sincere condolences to the family of Mr. Kungo and the Patriotic Front. We realize how sad that death is, and we express our sincere condolences to the family and to everyone. And welcome to today's special edition of TV Bakwetu, right on Election Day. Thank you for your patience during the time that I was experiencing video technical difficulties. Nomba ama technical difficulties ya video yapwa. So nomba today we have some video. It's not going to be the best of quality because nabwira kuno. And besides that, I don't think I can come up with very good video. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us today. We are going to have so many things to talk about. The song that we were playing is known as Mangolwa. It's a very, very nice song. Please play it and learn one or two things. Particularly, ima mweba lumendo, mweba kwa tero mleupa and everything else. So mufire mwa umforu yoluimbo Mangolwa. At Mangolwa. It's a very nice song done by Green Labels. Otherwise, today is supposed to be a very, very good day where we reflect on what went on. It was extremely stressful for me for some reason, and I'll get into that later. However, I have to introduce General, who is my co-host. General had originally planned with us to have one at 7 p.m. at 19 hours, and then another one at 21 hours, but we couldn't make it for the 19 hours one. And I think we are going to stay onto this one until at least we've received some first basic results from either ECZ or somewhere, because it's very interesting so far what is going on. General, good evening.
Good evening, Chimpala. Good evening, Kasama. Good evening, Chipata. Good evening, Mongu. Good evening, Livingstone, Kabwe, Usaka. Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, Musha. And how are you doing?
It was a long day. The team, if you say General, but no, it was not a long day. It was a very long day, and I have a lot of stories about my experience today. A lot of it, yeah.
I can't wait to have that Bakwe to TV T-shirt. And good evening, Frank. How is England today?
Good evening, General. England is very well, thank you. I'm just thinking about that Vakwete t-shirt. How come Munsha's only got one for himself? Why haven't we got one?
Well,
yes, General. Please go ahead and answer.
No, go ahead, Musha, go ahead.
It is because we have a well-wisher who is running a promotion. She prints t-shirts, and so she lives somewhere in Kitwe. And so when she got to hear about, I don't know how, but she, I think, put one or two things together. And so she wanted to run a promotion on our page for her business. And then she said, this is how it looks. And then I said, let me have one. Let me try to wear it. And then if Mr. Saliki likes it, he's going to purchase a few more from your business. That's exactly what happened.
That's correct. That's a plan.
So
it's a good.
So now that's a very good plan. So that's a very good plan. I'm going to ask her to make more. I think it's very affordable, and so we are going to order some so that all of us can have the TV Bakwetu shirts. And then it looks very high quality. It doesn't look like PF materials, you know. PF green materials. No, it looks far stronger and far much better. So this is the one. But we are going to. There's going to be a lucky winner of somebody on our posting that is going to win this T-shirt. Sponsored by IPNet, and so that's why I'm wearing it. And I was wearing it today at Chwempala Community Hall when we went to vote at Chwempala Community Hall. So it was very nice. TV Bakwetu at Chwempala Community Hall, and there is a cap as well. Give me a second. Give me a second, General, because I don't want to rush you, but.
Ooh.
You see, General, so a set of this, the shirt.
I was waiting, our viewers, I was waiting for a photograph of Munsha in the Bakwetu t-shirt on voting in Chwempala today, because our viewers have been asking questions, Munsha, for days and days. The question was, where is Munsha? So I think we can make it official today. Munsha has voted, and we want to hear your story, Munsha, before you share with the rest of the country. How was the voting? How was this experience, Munsha? I was monitoring the whole country and seeing things happening. Some of them seeing them happening right on time. So what was the experience, Munsha, today?
It was tough. Now I'm going to say some things here because I have several friends at Chwempala Hall who helped me out, but it was strange. We went. I was there at about 6. From 6 to 12. From 6 to 12, there was no movement in the line. We already found like maybe 200 people ahead of us, ahead of me, 200 people. And then the process inside was something else. And so one of my friends came up and he told me, if you are very nice to the people up front, they are going to let you, because I was almost fainting, General, because in Kwata training more Kwata of endurance, that you can stand for hours. No. Me, I'm not built for that. So I stood there hungry from 6 to about 12. That's 6 hours of standing, right?
Yeah.
And I started feeling dizzy. And so one gentleman was kind enough to pass along some milk that I took. And then someone also came up at about 12:30 Shalande and then told me, be nice to the people in front. And then I walked in there and I voted well ahead of my friends in the line. But I begged to say that I am supposed to be on TV Bakwetu, and General would not let me stay on this line without voting. So please, pretty please. And I managed to go in and I voted after 6 hours of waiting. It was a lot of emotion.
There's a comment here, Musha, from Maggie Margarita Margaret. She says, thank Ellis Musha for casting that vote. And did you wear, somebody called me, admin, did you wear a disguise? That is the question we are being asked.
What disguise can one wear to Chwempala? I wore this shirt, I wore this, and I had what is this? Today is today, General. We are not rushing today. We know there is so much peace in the country. It's amazing. So this is how I was looking, very, very much like me, and there was no disguise. General, is this disguising?
No, Musha, that was not a disguise. And Esther Chirwa says we knew Musha was in Zambia the moment they switched off the videos. How did you know that?
I was not even in Zambia that time. No, I shouldn't talk too much. General, I'm going to keep my mouth closed for now.
I've got a question though.
Myself if I continue talking.
I've got a question though. Because General just keep poking you. My question really is, why was the process so long? How long does it take to make a cross on the name? Why does everybody have to sit?
It is now, we need to be very clear here that it is a very thorough process, what I experienced inside there. And I do understand why it is taking long. And our people, if they're still in line, because there are some constituencies, I understand they're still voting. And so the process is, when you enter, they inspect your voter's card and your NRC. After they do that, they then take you to somebody who is going to do the first run through. So they're going to find your name. It is not just your name, your picture as well. So mine was at page 21 and row number 4. So page 21, row number 4, that is where they found it. After she finds that, she's then going to call out publicly your name and your NRC number and your voter's number. And then there will be several other polling agents. I think those are representatives of the parties that are entitled to identify you as a voter and to match the information that the officer is saying with what they have. And then they tick to say that this person has voted. After that, then they take you to the person who gives you the presidential ballot. They stamp it at the back. Then you go to somebody who was giving you 3 ballots, one for the ward, one for the mayor, and one for the MP. And then from there, you then go to the secret booth. That's where you cross your things. After you cross, you fold them nicely. Then you go back, you drop them. I think there was red, purple, brown, and whatever it is. And believe me, when you are voting, they do change which color is which. So Kanshi, you need to look very closely, you match. So all that is taking time. Now, even before that now, there are also streams or in alphabetical order. This is one thing that confused us here there at Chwempala. You see, there is need to have streams and divide voters according to their last names. But I don't think our officers did a good job because they did not tell us ahead of time to say, line up according to your last names, right?
Yeah.
So A to M was one stream, and I think M to something was another stream and another one, about 3 streams. But they had not explained that to the people. So everybody lined up in one line, and then that is where the mess was. What would I have wished? I would have wished that they actually broke down that line into the streams right from the beginning. And so that was a lot of time. But I was impressed by the thorough identity things that were going on inside. It was thorough, it took time, and this perhaps explains why we still have so many people still lined up. Yeah.
Musha, one of our viewers, one of our favorite viewers, Likezo Masua, says, Musha, you should have eaten gandolo or some porridge before going.
Now, several of our friends on the line were actually saying that they are fasting.
They were fasting?
Yes. You see how serious this thing is? Yes, they're saying that they're not going to eat until they cast their ballot. And so me, even when I was drinking my Kalito thing that somebody, a well-wisher, I think it was Kelvin, bought for me, I felt guilty, like, that's how serious people are. And they were saying, we are going to stay here until we cast our vote. And there is more that I was overhearing there that really confused me, General.
What was it, Moshe?
I knew that the Patriotic Front was not as popular on the Copper Belt. That I knew. I did not know the extent of the unpopularity until I was on that line.
Wow. So were you overhearing anything on the line, or was it just the how committed the people were?
People are committed, first of all, but I was also getting a sense that people were angry. They were quite angry. Yeah, the people of Chingola are quite angry. And so they have all these. And what I was getting, now this is what I was getting, and here on TV Bakwetu, we have not hidden the fact that we are concerned at the incumbents' leadership, right? We have not hidden that. We've been very clear that Tabateka, we know you. But I think the people of Chingola have seen that as well, and they are angry because of that. They're saying, during the gassing, so the issues of the gassing, it has continued on in terms of on the people's minds. They are saying, when we were undergoing gassing, the leader of our country was silent. He never spoke to us. The other thing was, things are expensive. Things are expensive in Zambia. And what I was overhearing as well were things like, now this is a kicker, because somebody said there seemed to have been a lot more support gained for Mr. Hakainde Hichilema during the past 2 weeks. Now, of course, these are just people that are talking, so I'm not sure what they are saying, but they're saying during the past 2 weeks, it's like people just turned around like that in a flight.
Don't you think the blocking of HH and the denying of his flights and all the harassment of Madam Nalumango could have switched the people off, turned them off?
Yes, it had the opposite effect. Because now the people of Chile started thinking, they started thinking, why are they blocking him? So he becomes a victim, and so they channel their anger against the incumbent. You know, and so that is what I saw. Now, where I was, I looked around and I told them, guys, I don't want you to deceive me, because maybe I just stood on a corner with UPND supporters when I'm NDC. So I said, I don't want you to deceive me. I don't want you to give me the impression that everyone in this line is at least thinking like that. They told me, well, you are here. Just look at this crowd. We can point who we believe are PF supporters. They are there, they are there, they are there. We can count them.
They could even count them. They could even.
They said we can count them. They said it's pretty bad.
Wow.
At Uempala Community Hall. Will I be surprised if the opposition carries Uempala? I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, what was the situation? Because Musha, there you were in the line, queuing up, and I was trying to contact you during the day. It was difficult because the WhatsApp had been switched off, internet had been switched off. But we were monitoring, our team was monitoring the whole country.
Right.
And we were getting reports from every province that at the beginning things were calm. Then there was splashes of ballot papers appearing and cars being crushed this Solwezi and things happening. What was the situation in Chingola and the Copper Belt?
Okay, General, now I need to be very clear here that some of this is just misinformation. And the people of Chwempala are very quick on stones. And that's very clear. And in fact, when the line was, when the line was getting longer and they are seeing no movement, there were some suggestions and some whispers, sporadically, that General, you were going to just hear about your co-presenter has been implicated in a very serious case of throwing stones. So I just had to calm down my neighbors, Njebere Aravane. Let's just come down here. When they're asking for the alphabetical names, they are not meaning anything evil, and so. But the frustration was there. But when I entered, that's when I found there are polling agents from the political parties. In fact, when I entered, I had my mask on. After my name is called, the polling agents asked me to take off the mask so that they can see me and compare my face with the face on their list that they had.
So that is when they knew that this is that's when they knew that this is the evacuated man. I think that's when they knew.
Yes. Maybe you know, because I did not see many calling people to others, but for me they actually said turn around to us. And when I saw that, I took out the mask, and then they said, so it is you, the controversial man. I'm like, I'm one of the most peaceful people and humble. There is no way you can call me controversial. I said it's General Chipakupaku who is controversial, and they know you. In fact, after voting at Chwempala Community Hall, I now went to Twatasha in my Kodi day, and one woman walked up to me and said, I'm very happy to have met you, but I want to see General. It's like you, General, you were the star of the moment. In Ndikuchingwa, people asking me about General. So next time I'll take you with me so that, and I took a picture with her and I'll send it to you.
You know, you travel all the way to Zambia and everybody's like, what are you doing here? Where's General?
Where's General?
I can promise that lady in Chingola that if the results look good, I'll see her next week. I'll promise that. Musha, let's hear from our viewers.
Hang on, one moment, General.
From you, Musha, what was the story about the army when you went to a polling station? Did you see the soldiers around?
No, there were no soldiers. Okay. Right at Chwempala Community Hall itself, there were very few police officers, maybe 3 inside. When I came out and took a drive around Chwempala, along Chwempala Road, that's when I saw a vehicle of police officers. But other than that, when I now went to a local hotel where I'm lodging, that's when I saw now, after I had voted, I think even after voting had closed, that's when I saw a huge, we used to call it in those days, IFA. I don't know what you call it. Because it's not IFA anymore.
IFAs are still running, Musha. IFAs are still running.
No, General. No, it's not an IFA. I know once I mentioned IFA, suddenly your energy comes up because you have lots of memories with IFAs. There is something similar to that. I think this is the equipment that they got from China. It looks like a Chinese truck. Yeah, that's when I saw a whole contingent of soldiers with their guns drawn. But at the polling station, they were not there.
Okay, Can I read one other comment, Musha? Joachim Kakbet Mumba says, I was at the polling station by 6 a.m. on the queue and only managed to vote at 14 hours Zambian time. That is what I call patriotism. That's what I call commitment.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I've got a text. I've got a text here. I've got a text here with some early results so far coming in some polling stations.
Okay.
Those we call them provisional. I don't think we can announce them. Munsha, because those are provisional. Let's get what the, those that might be, we can call them indicators, but they are not results until they're announced by ECZ.
So where are they from?
Where are they from, Frank?
I've got them from one of my friends. I can't mention them.
Yeah, of course, don't mention anybody's name. But what are they looking like? What is the number? They are not official, our viewers. The official numbers will come from ECZ. This is an indicator. What's an indicator? What's the indicator, Frank?
So the indicators at the moment, from what I have here at the moment, the indicators are that the UPND is winning.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, what is that? Winning what? Is it a polling station? And if it's a polling station, where?
They're polling station results.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, can I announce something, Mucha, to our viewers? Something coming in from Tunduma border, that there is something going on at Tunduma border. We don't know what it is, but inform the security people. We will inform the security people to our viewer in Tunduma. I'm not sure what's happening. We are also getting reports that there's some violence in the Western Province and Southern Province. We don't know what this violence is all about, but there are the reports of more activity after 18 hours. Monsha, what reports are you getting in Copperbelt?
No. My only thing is a concern, and I think we need to communicate this to our people. Now, I know some want to take a more dramatic approach to this. I think my appeal is that let us be calm. Some of the allegations that are being leveled are unverified and false, and so we shouldn't let ourselves be taken by false information. That's all I'm saying. Let us be slightly cautious so that we do not repeat what happened during the gassing, where innocent people were lynched and killed simply because people saw them with implements of farming, for example. And so we run the risk that people might be mistaking even innocent poll registers, because all polling agents at Chwempala Community Center did have the register, and the register is a public document that can be accessed by anyone. So some people are finding polling agents with those and calling it pre-marked ballot papers and meting out instant justice. My appeal would be, no, I wouldn't subscribe to that kind of approach. I believe in vote protection, whatever we call it, but I really do not subscribe to this idea that we suspect everything, we begin getting violent in order to have redress over this. I do not believe that President Lungu is going to rig this election. He will not rig this election. The Patriotic Front will not rig this election. And so I'm appealing for calm to our people, to our fellow Zambians. Please, if you have to do any voter protection, do it within the law, within the mandate of ECZ. Do not resort to violence. Do not resort to unreasonable approaches, because some are, in fact, what I heard was that at Chwempala, at Swatasha polling station, was that they were, in fact, searching every bag after 18 hours. Like, you're passing basecha barefwaya ama additional ballots. I don't think that is pretty necessary. And even policemen's vehicles abantu baresecha bakapokola.
Yeah, I think this is why we got to. This is why we got to be careful with what information goes out, because obviously people are emotionally charged, and any bit of information it just makes those people's emotions even get higher and higher. And I think that's very important what you say. Make sure that we just don't, if we hear a bit of information, that the information that we take out there, we know the facts, we know what's actually happening. Otherwise, as you mentioned, innocent people will suffer when they don't need to. So we get the information, we get the facts, and just try and encourage everybody to be peaceful and to cast a vote. And from what you've described the process, Mr. Munsha, I feel a lot more confident than I was feeling earlier on in the day. If it sounds to me like a really thorough process with observers, and I hope every polling station has got this with observers to observe what is going on. And it's quite difficult. I think it would be quite difficult for the PF government to lead, and with a turnout. And I always say in an election.
Now you see, sorry, Frank. You see, it wasn't just that way they inspect your credentials. She had to read out your name, the page on which you are as a voter, your page, and she reads out your NRC number publicly to the polling agents, to the party representatives, and your voter's number. When they go to give you the presidential ballot, they also enter they handwrite on the, because it's like in a folio form. What is that? Is that a folio form? Accountants.
Yeah.
Folio form. So before she gets your presidential ballot, she writes something there. I don't know what they are writing on top, that it remains with the book. Not on your ballot. It remains with the book. A counterfoil of some sort, so that when you are given, it appears like there is a clear audit trail.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how rigging goes or whatever they can do. Maybe they stuff the ballots at the beginning or at the end. But during that process, as long as it is being watched by those polling agents, I really do not see where somebody can actually stuff the ballots if people are there. If it's rigging, maybe it can happen somewhere where there are no people, and then somebody susula from the booklet at the mark the stuff inside. But they're there, but they're also counting how many are voting. So each party's representative is counting. So okay, that one goes, then they make a mark. They are also counting. They are going to tally all those numbers. Of course, there could be some miscounting by 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, but from there, and then they count right at the polling station. Then they transport the ballots off to the main totaling center, which here in Chingola, it's going to be at the civic center. So that is the trail.
Yeah. Munsha, I think I totally agree with you. Let's calm our people down. So far, we've had some incidences here and there. The Solwezi situation was very unfortunate. And I think the thing which has tensed up people was the cutting off of internet and shutting down of WhatsApp. People started asking themselves, what are they trying to hide? What are they trying to do? And the darkness also, voting at night, people are becoming very, very suspicious. So I would like to join you, Munsha, and the rest of the viewers at Bakwe to calm our people down. Let the process count. Let the process go through. And I also want to appeal to our brothers and sisters in PF. This is not the end of the world.
Right.
This election, the turnout is anything. This is the biggest turnout I've seen in the history of the Zambia's political history. I was there in 1991. That is not the turnout we saw in 1991. So my appeal to all our brothers and sisters in PF, let's calm down. This is not the end of Zambia. This is not the end of the world. There is a tomorrow. There will be a Friday tomorrow. There will be a Saturday. There will be a Sunday. And Zambia will still continue. So if there's anything people are planning to do tonight, please don't do it. Don't risk your life just for the sake of making history. Throughout the provinces, I know we've got viewers throughout the provinces. Right. This is the message which we are sending it back to. Let's all calm down. If you are still voting, protect the people on the lines. Make sure that they are protected. And as UPND, I've said, if you have voted, go back and protect your vote. Peacefully protect your vote. I think that's what I would say, Munsha, is that this has been the biggest turnout since our independence. In fact, I've voted in Zambia's elections for a long time. This turnout from Western Province to Northern Province to Eastern Province has been the biggest turnout so far. So there are a lot of comments here that I don't want to read all of them, but the point, they're all pointing out to the same thing. The harassment of PHH, his flights being grounded, all these things made people get angry. Yeah. And I think they've delivered it to that anger tonight. They vented through the ballot box. That's what democracy does.
Right.
So the strategy, the strategy that was used in the last few months, it was a strategy that made people angry, the strategy that divided the country, whether it was campaigning on tribal lines and it was blocking HH across the country. I think that really annoyed a lot of people. And I've been speaking to a few people in Zambia who were PF, and in the last few weeks they changed their mind, because for the love of their country they realize this is not the country they want to live in, where people are campaigning, don't vote this one and that one because it comes from this place and that place. I think the strategy at the end of it was wrong. If President Lungu didn't want to be on the same time in the Copper Belt at the same time as HH, there could have been a plan. I'm going to be in that part of the country this time, so that the other person can go to that part of the country when you're not there. Because at the end of the day, you're campaigning to send a message so people can make a choice. But they're almost like they didn't want HH's message to be heard. And for me, I feel that annoyed a lot of people, and probably turned off some of the people who were their supporters, because for them, for the love of the country, that's not what I thought democracy is all about.
I'm getting a comment from Chileshe Elias. He says Kampiongo has been on the radio. He feels very rattled. I don't know what's rattling Kampiongo. Stephen Kampiongo, if you're watching us, tell us what's happening. He must be watching us tonight. He's
they've been rattled. They've been rattled by the disgruntled youths.
And Patricia Chimba says HH has scooped Luangwa. I don't know that, Patricia. We'll wait for the official results. And there are so many comments, Munsha. I wouldn't. Can we share the link so that some people can join us, Munsha?
Yes. Oh, we already have quite a good number of people that.
I think let's give 10 people at a time to hear their comments, and then we clear them off. Get the next lot.
Now, General.
Go ahead, Munsha.
General, the thing with the Patriotic Front government is what I would call self-sabotaging of themselves. You see, that's why I was asking, Ushechisomo. We've been asking this question for a very long time. This confusion, the level of confusion in the Patriotic Front government, Ushechisomo, what was really happening? Because you can't explain it, You can't explain it. So while people are voting, they shut down WhatsApp. Now that clearly sends a wrong message.
Yeah.
Who decided to shut down WhatsApp? And so already there, it raises alarm bells to say they're up to something bad, even if they may not be up to anything bad, because I don't think they are capable, because all the plans that they've been trying to do, they've been backfiring. And so it is complete confusion that I really do not understand how they've been doing this. And so from WhatsApp, what will be next? Facebook? Instead of them making sure that they use WhatsApp to spread good information, correct information, or even Facebook, they want to go ahead and close it. The people of Zambia are patient. They'll give ECZ enough time to collect all the results, and the people of Zambia are going to receive a very fair result from the Electoral Commission of Zambia. And so far, I shouldn't hide this from you, General, there is a very clear trajectory here. That's why they've now begun. In the next few hours, you're going to hear more threats from the Patriotic Front. They're going to threaten CZ, they're going to threaten HH, they're going to threaten UPND. There'll be a lot of threats. Now, they're all empty threats. The peace in Zambia is going to be guaranteed, but you're going to be hearing a lot of threats. If Mr. Kampyongo is unsettled, I think I know why. It's because they have looked at the numbers. Now, I don't know whether they were naive or they couldn't just get the anger, the level of anger, like the anger in Chingola. They should have gotten it. I think the special branch should have been briefing the president to say, there is some anger here.
Musha, for the last 4 weeks, we've been saying, you will not steal this election.
Right.
That message has been very, very clear. People thought that was a joke. Yeah. I think today they've realized that that was not a joke. What happened in 2016, we told people that this time is not going to happen. So today, what you saw, Zambians, is the preparations for the last 5 years to avoid what we saw in 2016. So it's history, it happened, but we didn't want it to happen. You will hear from the UPND officials properly when things are done to say that we were trying to avoid what happened in 2016. Now, before I proceed, Musha, I've got 2 questions here which I need to clear and answer quickly. There's somebody here, Mr. Miove, who's saying, "Why, Norman? What are you doing in Scotland? You should have been here voting." I wanted to come, but I couldn't because of COVID. I wanted to be like Munsha, would have been broadcasting Vakwe to today in Zambia, but I couldn't because of COVID. Zambia is still on the red list. I don't know how Munsha managed to get in from Canada, but from the UK, you can't get into Zambia. Second one, there's a comment that our brother, the musician, the son to the president, has said something against me. I really don't care what Malembe King says until he goes to Congo for 2 years. That's when he can come and talk. So those are the 2 things I wanted to comment about, Musha.
General, did you say Congo?
Well, did I say Congo? I think I said you should go back to night school.
Go back to night school. I've just got to say, I've never seen it is a complete misjudgment by the government. You can't see it. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. Even from being in the UK, you could sense there was a wind of change. So you don't know. I don't quite understand why the powers to be could not understand the feeling of the country, the feeling of people on the ground, the feeling when the president went to Mufulira and nobody showed up. I wonder why his advisors didn't say, we need to change tack here. Something is up. That should have been alerted everybody, say the strategy that we're using at the moment is not working. The game is up. But they carried on using the same strategy, even when the writing was on the wall.
But the surprising thing is, you see, they knew that their time might be up. But the problem is they still believed that they could rig. You see, when you're talking to Patriotic Front supporters, this is what they are saying. They're saying, he's going nowhere. He'll still be there. He'll still somehow win. And they seem to be receiving this confusing comfort that somehow there are some things that Lungu can do under his, under somewhere, that he can pull out a surprise and win. It does not work like that in Zambia, He can't just do that. He can't just decide that now win, There is nothing like that. Here, it's people that vote for you. Every ballot is going to be counted, and the Electoral Commission of Zambia is going to announce the winner. That is it. If we are going to stay away from speculating. If we receive totaling centers with their totals, yes, we are going to say these are provisional numbers, but the trend is going this way. But other than that, we are giving ECZ enough time to announce.
There's a message from Chair where it says, Luapula, their bedroom, things are happening here. Where are the chiefs? Where are the chiefs who endorsed somebody? So, because even in Luapula bedroom, things are happening. No numbers we are not giving any numbers. We're just telling you what people are saying. And so things are happening. For me, my appeal really is to the PF people. Our people, elections are won, elections are lost, but your Zambian citizenship will never be lost.
Right.
So whatever happens tonight, you are still Zambians. And to a PF, I will say this, we still love you because you're brothers and sisters, and nothing will change your citizenship. So if there's anything you're planning tonight, anything which is illegal tonight, don't do it. Yeah. Because the chances is that you will be caught. Not only be caught, the chances are that you might end up losing your life for nothing. We don't want to hear what has happened in Solwezi. We don't want to hear that. Yeah. So if you are planning, if anybody from PF is planning anything illegal, do not do it. If they've given you those uniforms to wear at night, the police uniforms, and you are not a policeman, don't do it.
Catastrophic results from Kalulushi.
Well, Kelvin, there are no official results, so we're not announcing any official results. What we want is to tell us what is happening in Kalulushi. Are you in Kalulushi, Kelvin?
I'm not in Kalulushi. I'm in my hometown in Australia still.
Yeah. So our policy is very, very clear. We are not announcing.
No. I'm not announcing anything, but what I've seen is a lot of catastrophic results. And
So what are you hearing, and where are you hearing this information from? Is it relatives? Friends?
Yes, from relatives and friends. And I heard when I spoke to Doc Musa, I had to stop because I'm traveling to Emerald, the mining town. I had to wake so that I can knock off for the weekend. So he stopped me at 3 a.m. I said, no, I'm stopping. So I'm by the side of the road, as you can see, and I'm listening to Radio Phoenix updates, and I happened to listen to Bakampiongo on his.
What was Stephen Kampiongo saying?
No, he was complaining about the violence, but the Phoenix he complained about the violence, and he was saying the UPND cadres have killed someone. It's very sad. Someone has been killed. Yep. It is very sad. But there was a very interesting question to say, but was anyone wearing regalia to immediately say that they are UPND cadres, whoever the murderers are, and things like that. Now, he was a bit distressed, and then he started saying, this UPND, how are they going to lead the country? They've got no experience. How are they going to manage this? When they come into power. So he forgot, and he was saying, when UPND comes into power, we don't know that UPND is coming into power.
Mr. Kakwindi, and our viewers, where did the Stephen Kampiongo get the experience to run Zambia? From Katondo Street?
No, we don't know. We don't know. But it was a very interesting interview that he had on Radio Phoenix, because I've been listening to Radio Phoenix the whole night.
UPND. UPND
Yes.
has got very experienced people, people, not from Katondo Street. Sorry to say this to Stephen Kampiongo. So let's go to somebody who's in, let's go in. Oh, okay, Mr. Kafwimbi, tell us what else you've heard, and then we'll go to Wiseman, because Wiseman is in Zambia.
Yes. I've also seen I've seen an official complaint from the Patriotic Front on their letterhead to the Electoral Commission of Zambia. I don't know if you've seen that, about the violence which is in Choma. I'll send it to you right now. There is a violence which is in Choma Central Constituency, Monza Central Constituency, that they've beaten up their people. It's an official complaint to the ECZ. So I've got a copy of that. I'll send it. I'll send that to you.
Thank you so much. Stand by, Mr. Chief Kamfuimbi, because I know you are in Australia and it must be in the morning now. Let's go to Wiseman, and after Wiseman, let's go back to Musha. Wiseman, what's happening?
Thank you very much, General. Good evening, Plank. Good evening, Mr. Chanda. Good evening, Madam Ruth, and good evening to Comrade Musha. I think not only that I'm in Zambia like my comrade Musha, but I'm a polling agent, as you know, and we have just finished counting our results here at the Dramusho polling station, Kabwe Central. And as you have said on TV, we're not going to announce and confirm the results from the ECZ, but for us, we have done our part and we have counted the results which we had from the Dramusho polling stations. And according to the way which we have seen things right now, here at this polling station, I think Tutwangure and his colleagues, they have got no chance here, according to what we have counted.
So what was the turnout? What was the turnout in Cabo Central, Wiseman?
Now, General, it's not saying Cabo Central. It's at the polling district, because they've counted at the polling district.
Yeah, that's a polling district, but what was the general situation in the area? That's Cabo, I think. Am I right, Wiseman? What is the situation? What was the voting situation in Cabo? What was the turnout? No? Over to you, Musha.
Right. General, I always like reminding our viewers to send us stars. And those on YouTube, they can do more. There is something on YouTube that they can do. And the reason is, after this election, TV Bakwetu, some people were asking to say, where will TV Bakwetu be after the elections? We are going to be here. This is not something that came up because somebody gave us a project to do. No. We are continuing. So please, send stars. And please don't wait for us to remind you. Just immediately this thing begins running, stars, because that's very important. In terms of the trends, General, the way I am looking at it, so I'm very anxious to know how Chingola Nchanga will vote. We are likely to receive official results before midnight from Chingola and Nchanga, because these constituencies count very fast, particularly in Nchanga. So once we have those verified results from there, I think it will give us an idea. If I see, for example, that there is a split, like almost a 50-50 split, Lungu loses. 50-50 split.
Musha, there's some breaking news here that Diamond TV is off. Has been switched off. Not sure whether this one is true. Can our viewers confirm this? That Diamond TV is off air. It has been switched off.
Somebody said it's back.
Somebody says it's back. Okay, go ahead, Musha.
Yeah. So those are some of the trends that we are noticing. Now, the trends that Wiseman was talking about, very interesting. He says he has not given figures, but he says that as they were counting, he thinks that Mr. Ngulu has no chance. Mr. Tutwangulu, I think I would agree. And if Kabwe goes to, and if they split, okay, let's just take it at the very conservative. They split the vote between the the green candidate and the red candidate, and they split in Kabwe, it's bad news for the green candidate. That's it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kampion has already read the tea leaves and they think that they're quite in trouble. Right now, tonight, as things are right now, you'd rather be red than green. Yeah.
Muncha, let's talk about the pictures you saw during this voting. I think one photograph and video which will remain in my mind is of this graduate wearing his graduation gown.
Yeah.
Wearing, I think it's an Unza. I could see that gown. It's an Unza graduation gown. Yeah. This guy goes on the queue, and the queues, they will come and say, no, Muriwa graduate, and you go and vote in advance. They lead him to the front to go and vote.
Yeah.
That photograph, that video will remain in my mind. What do you think when you saw that, Frank? What did you think? What did you think?
It made me smile, but in another ways, it really just exemplifies how people are feeling. It's almost like we're tired of this mediocrity. We need to graduate to something a lot better. And the turnout itself is absolutely incredible, and how people are behaving. I don't know if you've ever seen this many people turn up for voting. I saw a video, and it was a line of almost 2 miles of people just queuing up to vote. And if you get a big turnout like this, it's a great indicator. If people are happy with the leadership that is there at the moment, you never get such a turnout. When you get such a turnout with people are going, it's enough, you never get that much of a turnout to vote so that you can vote the person who's in. That is a great indicator. And I think when the PF government PF officials were seeing things like that, with videos like that, and I think they knew the game was up. They probably got a bit nervous, and they saw. And you can see the people the way they are with everything. People are so really want their vote to be protected. They really want their vote to be protected because they really want change. I don't think I've ever seen a polling station where people are queuing at the polling station and they're singing, "We want change." That probably has never happened before. But you can see the mood in the country, and this is a mood that's been created by the PF government. And that person with the gown, it was funny, but it was also a great indicator of the mood in the country.
Well, Ruth, I know you're not in Zambia. How are you feeling tonight? And what messages are you getting from home?
I could be in Zambia, General.
I never know. Never know.
I have so much respect for our country. Oh my God. To my Zambian family, I just want to say Mwabombeni. Mwabombeni, Mwabombeni. Bamusha Mwabombeni. Uncle Norman, Mwabombeni. Everyone. Tualiu Makapi. And we just said we'll do this. I want to say this. You were talking about when the wind changed. I really think when I felt the wind changing was when we saw the blood of Nsamansama and Joseph Kaunda on the streets of Lusaka on the 23rd of December, 2020. That was when I really felt, I felt the pain. Yeah. And I could imagine what our people on the ground, our people in our communities where we're from, where we were born, how they were feeling. I think that's when I started seeing a change. I started seeing a lot of people joining our team. I started seeing a lot of friends on Facebook posting in outfits that were symbolizing that they were gravitating on one side. But yeah. I must say this. To see a Zambian killed in broad daylight by our own government, that should never be allowed. It should never be allowed in our country. And when Wamusha talks about the anger of our people, I can understand that. I totally understand. Oh, I am so overjoyed. I've been emotional the whole day. Uncle Norman, I think I sent you a message. I'm very emotional to see, I keep playing this in my mind, seeing Hakainde Hichilema begging to get into Chipata. Ask him whether he needs a passport. Are you kidding me? To see these people stop him from even driving in the streets of Lusaka, even saying, verbalizing by a head of state, who are you? Who are you? You do not have the title deed to Zambia. Zambia belongs to all of us. Yeah. How do you victimize Umwana wa Muntu the way they have victimized this man? And that's where the emotional part comes in. They have ill-treated HH. And I'm sure when we win tonight, it will be a very emotional inauguration. It will be very, very emotional for a lot of Zambians. Yeah. And I want to also say thank you to the diaspora. People in the diaspora, you have done it. Thank you for the support. There are people who donated directly to HH.
Amatributes yakatampe after 72 hours. Okay.
No, because we are still donating. We haven't finished, but there are things that are still going on right now. Please keep pushing. We haven't finished, but thank you for what you're doing. On the other hand, Uncle Kapoli now issue statement warning the RB. Did you listen to that statement?
No, we have not heard the statement. You know, we have been kept very, very busy. Plus the issue of the WhatsApp, Baruth. They have cut off WhatsApp, so messages are not coming through. We will check that statement. Nobody will issue any statement tonight because the Zambian people are in control.
So but Shimbaka Mbwili has warned RB to be careful because he says the statement that RB made this morning after casting his vote is dividing the country. Shimbaka Mbwili should be the last person to say anything. But Shimbaka Mbwili, sit back. Sit back.
Well, Baruth, I've not read that statement, but let me say one thing. Whatever statement he has said, I'll read it and I will phone Kambwili and tell him to say Nache Pasana Kambwili.
I'll send it to you, Uncle. I'll send it. It's an audio.
I will handle him. If not, I'll ask Andrew Banda to handle him. That's his side.
I'll send it to you.
188-655.
Okay. Now let's go to somebody who's in Zambia. I know that Gladys, you are waiting there, and you've been fantastic to support the people on the ground. Let's go to Chola. Chola in Zambia.
Yes, I'm in Zambia.
Have you voted?
Are you getting me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
I voted.
What time did you go to vote?
I voted. It was around 5:30. 5:30. I'm in Choma. Actually, I'm in Choma. I voted around 9 hours.
Yes, okay,
and the mood was okay.
Can you mute yourself, please? Because I can hear there's a feedback. Terry, can you mute yourself, please? Terry.
Hello.
Mute yourself. Okay, go ahead, Chola. What is the story with the Choma? Is it quiet? Is it calm? What is the story now?
No, Choma is poor now.
Yes,
and it's calm. But there's someone.
Yeah, there is a problem
in the behind. Uncle.
There is somebody who's speaking on the background. Please, if you're not asked to speak, can you mute yourself? So, Bachola,
Are you getting
what is the story in Choma? Is it quiet?
Choma is cool. Choma is quiet sana. And we have enjoyed the piece, though there was a bit of kamfurunganya panono pali abamusha n'abakeshi babati. Afterward, kachisa abaku. Tapali nefile chitika. Right now, we are just waiting for the results. And
what was
talking
the turnout?
about the
turnout?
Amazing. I've even sent some pictures to your WhatsApp, although you are not getting it. It was amazing.
Wow.
And Diamond TV, as you talked about, it's on, and we are listening to the result, and people are still voting in Lusaka.
In Lusaka?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Bachola. Thank you. Let's be very brief. Let's go to Terry. Terry, where are you?
Terry. Actually, the first thing I'm going to tell you people, I thank God because I had challenges when researching the polling station. I never knew where I was going to cast my vote from. So we had the challenge. I don't know if you can get me there.
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Yes. By the time I reached the polling station, we had a challenge whereby we had dismissed to go and check on the register, and it was unfortunate that I did not find my name. Until I did my best to find my name inside the polling station on the classroom there. So actually, I was the first one to cast my vote at Chimwemo Ishiko Primary School. And we tried our best that no matter what they're going to do, we're going to vote. So I thank those who gave me the support that you should check for your name. And the piece actually there, it was there. And we made sure that we protected our vote. And actually, we need that change in our country. Things are getting so. That's the only support I've been given there. So, and we are still in touch. And
are you voting
hello,
for?
Can you hear me there?
Yes. Were you voting for the first time, Terry, or is this your first time to vote?
Hello.
Is this your first time to vote, Terry?
Actually, that was my first time. Yes. Yes, it's my first time to vote.
Well done, you. Well done. Thank you. And I think
yes,
our viewers, you must have
my first time to vote.
That the majority of the voters today were young
Hello,
people.
Can you hear me there?
Yes, we can. Go ahead. Okay. It looks like we have got a problem with the Terry. Over to you, Musha. What are you hearing? What's new coming through?
The network.
That's okay, Terry. Let's give Musha the chance.
Musha, the only thing I advise our people is just to get it.
Okay.
Musha, I think like we've got a problem with internet as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think the line there is too bad. I did want to just go back to the graduate going to vote in his graduation gown. That is indicative of something deep, and if the Patriotic Front were to lose this election, again we are saying were to lose this election, one of the factors would be clearly youth unemployment. We have quite a huge number of youths that have no jobs, basically. And what does the government say? It says nothing, really. It does nothing. It empowers youths, and we all know who those youths are. It's the cadres. And so that is going to spell the downfall. But the other thing is the lack of compassion. You see, we got this front that the current leader was a very listening leader and very humble, but he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't listening to the concerns of Zambians, particularly as far as job creation was concerned. And I think that is potentially going that's all. So there was no better symbol to demonstrate that than for that graduate to go in his graduation gown. And I think it's also a sign of hope that in spite of what has happened in the past, that the young people are hopeful. This is what this election was all about. If President Hichilema is the one that has been elected as president, it's a huge, huge burden to carry. And I think we need to seriously pray for him when that day comes, because it will be a very huge burden. This economy it's gone down, has been trashed, literally. It's been looted. I think Zambians are very rational people, and they are very fair. If the problems were caused by things that no one could control, I think Zambians would have understood.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me. Zambians are seeing how cadres are the ones that are flashing money. Cadres. At the expense of real economic drivers in our country. They see that politicians became rich in 5 years. Zambians are seeing that and they're getting concerned. They're saying, how come if your economy affect I think those are some of the factors that might cost President Lungu his job, in my opinion. Regarding what is happening in Choma, I think there was a little commotion there, but otherwise we understand it's peaceful, and this election is quite decisive, in my opinion, very decisive, and it's not going to be a very disputed election at all. No, because of the course of action, but it's very clear. If people in Lusaka are still voting now, it tells you nobody stays on the line to keep an incumbent in power.
No. Musha, you've touched something very, very important. Just a minute, Frank, before you come in. In management, there's an issue of managing expectations. And I think that's a very serious issue for HH. People will expect the economy to be turned around very, very quickly. It might not happen very, very quickly. He has a huge task. It might be too early for us to talk about this. We might be talking about this tomorrow when we get the results. But the Zambians are expecting things to be turned around quickly. There are some of them which are very easy to turn around. The issues like the cadres, I will tell you, if he's elected, there will be no cadres on Monday. That I cannot tell you. That's a fact. But the issues like the economy, the debt, the issues of making sure that misapplication of government funds in ministries, it will take time to be audits to be done, or the corrections to be done. So you are right, Musha. He's going to, if he's winning, then definitely he's going to have a huge task ahead of him. And the expectations of that graduate who was wearing a gown will be that he needs the job immediately. That's what he will need. So some of these things might take some time, but there's this low-hanging fruit, like the cadre. There will be no Kalimanche harassing people at the city station. That I can assure you.
General, I just want to be cautious there that the cadre problem is not a very simple problem, right? And so what I'm hoping is that if we are going to have a UPND government, that
there will be no cadre. There will be no cadre from UPND harassing people in the market and city market. That will not happen.
Okay.
That is not going. And let me say this very, very clearly. And I think it has been said many times to our UPND cadres. You are not going to replace the PF cadres and mistreat our people. You will be disciplined. You will be sent to jail. You will be disciplined, because there will be no. Then it means there will be no difference between PF and UPND.
Yeah.
And I think Gilbert Liswaniso has made it clear. The president has made it clear. There will be no UPN card at the bus station harassing people at the market. They will not do that because there will be no difference between PF and UPND. So there must be a clear line. If HH is winning tonight or tomorrow, there will be a clear line that there are certain things which will be a no. And one of them
General,
is over to you, Frank.
I got a question. We've seen this from moving from MMD to PF. You're the MMD ministers who then very quickly moved to PF. Is there a guarantee we're not going to see the same of seeing people shifting from one party and going on to the ruling party? Because if you look at the PF, the ministers they had at the end of it, predominantly they looked like we're MMD, and you have change of government, but you have almost the same people running things.
This will be a fresh start, I can assure you. You'll see some of the faces you've never seen in government, and it'll be a fresh start. And if you think Kambwili or Dora Siria will come back as minister, forget it. It will not happen. That I can assure you. But it will be a mixed government of experienced people, young people, women. It will be a good mix because that's what HH is going to do. If he's announced as a winner tonight or tomorrow, you expect experienced people, young people, experienced people, women who are experienced, and even the disabled people who are experienced. As long as they're experienced, it will be not the same old faces, same MMD, PF ministers. That will not happen.
That's always good to know, because in politics you seem to have the same people recycled over and over again. And I think it's really important that there's real change. And we've seen that cadres have more power than the police officers. We've seen cadres collecting rents, money from all the people selling on the market. Somebody wakes up and goes and collect their orders at 4 o'clock in the morning, and somebody comes to collect rent. And I think it's really important that is taken away, that people are if they're paying any money, the money is going to the council and is going to be for the benefit of the people. And we've seen all these PF cadres enrich themselves, become more powerful than the police officers, and we need to go back to a place where it becomes the rule of law. And we need to change a lot of legislations in the country as well to ensure that our legislatures are strong, that the government, the president of the country does not become powerful or stronger than the legislation of the country. I always think of America. They had Donald Trump. With his nature, if the legislation was weak, he probably could have been a dictator, but the constitution and the legislation of the country does not allow them to do that. The legislation is always going to be stronger than the person who's in power. And probably the judiciary, the entire judicial system need to be looked at. And throughout the process, that the president does not become above the law, that the judicial system is there to protect the people, not the president.
Thank you so much, Frank. Let's get somebody else who's in Zambia. I know that Gladys is waiting, and I also know that there's Justus Ndunda. From the T-shirt, I can tell that she's from the UPND Europe Club. So let's go to Gladys. First of all, Gladys, thank you so much for the support to make sure that the polling agents were supported, and all your support. What are you hearing, Gladys?
Thank you for giving me the platform. I've just been hearing that there was 200 people. Actually, it was the youth who have registered in the showground to vote, but apparently their names couldn't appear, and their names were appeared in Chipata. So that is my question to Wamunsha. I don't know if you heard about that. There were 200 Chipata, of them that they were being interviewed.
Gladys, which Chipata? Chipata compound or Chipata in
Chipata in the Eastern Province. So they were complaining, like, how do we vote? We have the national registration card and we have the voters card. Otherwise, you have to communicate with the people in Chipata so that they can transfer, because we never registered in Chipata. We registered in the showgrounds in Lusaka.
Musha, did you get that news? And if there's any viewer who was affected, no?
No, I never heard of that. I think the Electoral Commission of Zambia did try to have that verification exercise. Now I know that that process did not take sufficient time. There was no sufficient sensitization, so probably many people missed it. But it's quite unfortunate that the 200 youths did not vote because their details are in Chipata. That's pretty sad. I don't know what really records we have at the moment.
I'm getting a story here. This is from Shamiso Gray. He says, Gladys, the people were in Kamwala, but their names were in Chipata. And this is Shamiso Gray. I think Shamiso should be in Zambia. And says, Gladys, the people were supposed to have voted in Kamwala, but their names were found in Chipata. And that is, so let's ask our viewers, if anybody was affected, that you're supposed to vote in Lusaka and your name was in Chipata and you didn't vote, please come and talk to us. Tell us what is happening. And I would love to hear, Musha, do you have anybody from Zambia? Where is our Jeremy?
No, we don't have Jeremy.
Okay, anybody who's in Zambia, please can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I am in Zambia. I'm in Western Province.
Hey Nisha.
I'm from Sesheke. First of all, I'll just love to say that today has been very peaceful. We have enjoyed the peace today. And I went to the polling station at 15 and I casted my vote at 20 hours. I was not the last person to cast the vote. And I was really amazed at the turnout. I was motivated and I was moved by the determination of people. People were so determined to vote. They couldn't give up for anything. Some of the people that went in the morning, some went in the afternoon, they braved the heat, and us in the evenings braved the cold. There was a woman in front of me who was not feeling well, but she was crawling in the queue and she was determined that she is not going anywhere until she casts that vote. The mood that was around, the soldiers were there. It was a peaceful sight. The police officers were so kind and helpful, and the people just voted peacefully. And the mood around was so beautiful. And it was peaceful. By the time we were leaving, the people had refused to go to their homes. They were all gathered around. They were saying, we're not going anywhere. We're going to wait until the votes are counted, and then we are going to go to the civic center and continue staying until we see the final results. The people are alert, and this alertness is coming from somewhere. It's speaking words loudly out there. You can see it, you can read it. That was the mood from where I was voting from. Secondly, I couldn't believe that the Zambian government can switch off WhatsApp and Facebook. I did hear and saw the comments from the permanent secretary that they could switch off internet, but I could not just convince myself that this could happen in Zambia. But when it happened, then I became scared. Like, they could do worse. What if they now switch off the network? What will happen next? Are they going to switch off Zesco for how many days and when? It just gave me so many uncertainties. If they can do this, it means they can do anything worse. But I have peace, and I'm very anxious. There is a wind that is positivity around me, and the place here is very peaceful, and I'm hoping for the best. Thank you.
Vumba, thank you so much for keeping us informed about what is happening in Sesheke. That's fantastic. And as long as it's peaceful, we are happy to hear. And thank you for standing all those hours to be able to cast your vote. There's a comment here from Ruth Zulu Lucy from Zambia. She says that people who registered in Chainda Avondale were sent to Chainda Chongwe to go and vote. That is very, very strange. It's very strange. So anybody else from Zambia, can you just unmute yourself and tell us where you are, if you want to tell us where you are, and tell us exactly what happened. For how long did you take for you to vote? Just unmute yourself. Nobody? Nobody from Zambia?
Hello, General.
Go ahead.
I'm not from Zambia, but I did see a post from Laura Miti.
Yeah.
She also sent a Twitter. She tweeted as well that her niece was registered to vote at Chainda Primary School, but then when they got there, they were told that they had to go to Chongwe. So after standing in the queue for several hours, they then had to make their way to. They just were very determined to go and vote, so they had to make their way to Chongwe. So they were sending an alert to say if there's anybody out there that is actually registered at Chainda to actually make their way to Chongwe. So that was earlier on this morning. I'm done speaking.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Gladys. And Gladys, is Olga your first name? So we should go by Olga.
It is Olga. It's not Gladys. I'm not Gladys.
No, it's not Gladys. Yeah, Gladys. Gladys is in Denmark. The one who was speaking with Olga, right. I think.
Now, okay. We were talking with Olga. Gladys, it's your turn. How are you doing? Oh, yes, Olga.
Hi, Musha. I think we've crossed the wire there. Gladys has already spoken. So who was telling us about Laura Meet? It was Olga. Am I right? Thank you so much. Gladys had her chance. Unless you've got something else to say, Gladys.
No, over to Olga, please. Her floor.
Okay, Olga. Anything else you want to say?
I'm just so overwhelmed with and just feel like and feel very, very grateful to all the Zambian people. I'm based in the UK, so to see the amount of work that has gone in from everybody, including the diaspora. I know a lot of times people say, "Oh, the diaspora don't you mind your business and do whatever," but they don't consider us as full-blown Zambians, and people have people in the diaspora have worked really, really hard to kind of help this to kind of help the campaign and to try and bring it home. So like I think Baruth that was there before, she was trying to thank people, like do a victory she's showing gratitude out there to the people of Zambia. Their numbers just speak for themselves. I don't think that there's anybody. I mean, I know we don't have verified results and we don't have results yet, but looking at the situation now and how many people came out, and the one with the graduation gown was not actually the only one. There was a lot of videos that were sent to myself that had a lot of the people wearing their graduation gowns, and in that trying to express themselves and actually show the people that they're struggling, they're graduates and they don't have jobs. So I don't think all those people, those numbers were saying we're actually going to return the current government. It was actually a clear indication that people were now ready to actually fight for themselves and fight for their right, fight for their children and fight for their future. So what has been happening when it came to cadreism, when it came to money, splashing of money. I mean, doctors not being paid, no promotions in Zambia because most of it is being, the debts were so overwhelming that most the job opportunities in Zambia were so greatly affected, that people who have been practicing as a doctor, practicing in hospitals will stay junior doctors for several years. And I know, I live in the UK, and I know it doesn't take that long. If you do your exams, you qualify, and you do what you have to do, and you've got the qualification for it, you should be able to get a promotion and be a consultant or be a registrar or be somebody senior. But obviously, if they cannot promote people, if they cannot pay the salaries that is involved in paying these people, because obviously there's money that's not available for these people to be paid. But to be seeing cadres, it was just the whole thing of cadreism, money splashing, beating people, killing people, intimidation of army regalia, army, whatever. You'd think these people were actually in Kuwait. It's just the intimidation that did it for me. And then when you look at the relationship that was developing between Museveni and Zambia, it was just that, I think, just that where you sit scared to say, if we don't resolve this situation right now, there is a very great possibility that we can actually easily go into a dictatorship and have people actually ruling us. I mean, I have a piece of land somewhere, and my workers or people that are going there to work have been having a problem actually accessing that place, because every time they have to pass through cadres, you have to get like a passport to say, oh, please, you have to beg them, you have to talk to them nicely, and they'll tell you they own all this land and stuff. So it's a lot of control, and the whole world was just losing. And Zambia as a peaceful country was completely going the wrong direction completely. Thank you. I'm done speaking.
Olga, thank you so much. I know you belong to our club, the UK, UPND
yes,
and Europe.
Yes.
I've seen the T-shirt, and I know Musha was not going to allow me to wear that T-shirt, so that's why I could not. Thank you so much for the good work you and Amanda and the team have been doing.
General.
Yes.
And I never said you couldn't wear that T-shirt. I don't know where you're getting that from. Not from me.
Musha, you told me I should never wear anything red when I'm on banquet, so I'm following instructions. He
can't help it.
But I know that our UPND UK club, you guys, we have done a good job. And
we have worked hard. We have worked hard.
Thank you so much to Amanda. And if all goes well, we'll come and celebrate with you. Now, Musha, before I hand over to you, it looks like we've got Ilunga Mbangweta. Where are you? Are you in Zambia? If you're in Zambia, talk to us.
Yeah, I'm in Zambia. Actually, I'm in Kazungura right now. Here we are peaceful, and the victory is certain. Doctor,
why are you saying victory is Mbangweta?
Is certain.
Why are you saying victory?
What general? I'm overwhelmed with what has happened here. The voters turnout was perfect. People finished voting. The last one was around 21 hours. Right now we are counting, and I'm on the window watching, and the things are quite okay with what you started and with the council Musha there. Things are okay. I'm very happy.
Wow.
That's this is Kazungula, Riverview polling station.
Are you seeing the new bridge? Are you seeing the new bridge?
Yes, I'm seeing a new bridge. That's why I stay here.
Wow. So
I'm actually counting with them. So far on the other stream, we've got 10 ballots which have not been cancelled. Which has been cancelled. They were not marked well, and the rest we are carrying a day. Mr. Calaba's got 2. PF that's still counting, but we've got a majority here. Victory certain.
So you are saying that it's been peaceful and the turnout has been fantastic. So please keep it that way.
Yeah, as TV we're going to crew. Here we are keeping watch. Mr. Musha, are you in Zambia? Musha, we're in Zambia.
imwe chimona shani chapalako shani
awe nachimona umuntu onomba wachimona ko tewa kanso iyo
wisa
unoto alashana uya umuntu nachimona pa Facebook kuwa vachiruna mucharijisa nomba shishi venga nomba kanso kuti waisa
Musha, can I now officially announce that Musha is in Zambia? He has been in Zambia for a few days. He has voted today. So, and I really want to apologize to all the viewers that I couldn't say it. I couldn't. I was sworn to an oath by Musha. He made me sign a contract that I would never say anything. So
General vamusha vaile kumilengi vaile mkutandala kumilengi teti vese kuzambia kwa kuya muno brother wa kumilengi na tuishiba.
Okay. So no, Bomba Ngweta, we are so grateful that it has been peaceful in Kazungula. Keep it that
Even
way.
Livingstone is peaceful.
Even Livingstone is peaceful.
Yes, actually, we went around with our team to check what was going on, and here we are okay.
Thank you so much. Musha, let me hand over to our sister Rose, who will hand over to you. But Rose, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling okay. I'm just so happy they turn out to the people to vote, and my prayer is we just want the Akainde Chilema to be the 7th president. The number of completion, 7 is a number of completion, you know, because people have suffered a lot. And I'm just so excited the way people went to vote. My sister, she went to vote in the morning and I couldn't even sleep. I was just like, you guys, I was calling them. And even the guys, the number you gave me, General, they called me, they showed me the way they were voting. It was just so peaceful. And the prayer is people, if Mr. Lungu loses, the only prayer to him, you have to accept. You have to accept the situation that you have lost because he had the chance to rule the country for 5 years. But what he did to the residents, to the citizens of Zambia, and he gave the power to the cadres, which the cadres did a bad thing to the residents, to beat them, to abuse them, and even to the abuse of power. That's the only thing I can say to Mr. Lungu if these loses. But that's my saying to him. I guess maybe they are listening, although my family, they don't want me to be talking. They think that I talk too much, but I'm talking on behalf of them and talking on behalf of the Zambians because I love Zambia. I'm a Zambian, although I'm an American citizen, but I love my Zambian people. I don't want them to be suffering. Some people, they don't even eat. They don't even have a meal, which is a shame. And Zambia is the richest country, whereby Mr. Lungu will be just flashing money to the cadres, and these cadres are just the grade zeros. So
thank you so much, but Rose, Musha, before you take over, I'm getting some flashing news here coming from somebody I respect so much, Dr. Henry Mumbi in London. He's saying PF contesting MP for Kana constituency in Kitwe, Alexander Chiteme, has been arrested for having been found with 8,000 suspected pre-marked ballot papers. This is news. This is just developed now. Please, can you check that,
General? I'm not going to even think twice about it. We can't just receive news and it says details coming.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that
that's not being fair to our listeners.
This is not news. So what we're saying, this is somebody who has reported this. We are not confirming this, but this is what we are receiving. So I'm saying is somebody I respect so much, you would never write something which is not true. So whatever it is, let's listen to what is happening. Over to you, Musha.
Okay. Thank you very much, General. I think we've got to call it a day because we've got to come back tomorrow with more news, and then we can make some more analysis of the actual numbers that we are going to receive from ECZ, and then we're going to speculate on the numbers ourselves, and so. And then the other thing is that General needs to retire and sleep. Me, I'll still be awake, but General must sleep.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Munsha. It has been a long, long day. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. What I'm just appealing to our Zambians is that probably we give one or two people just to be brief, because I can see that we have Bomkeleba there, and I've got Chama in London, and I've got Clara Chanda. I'll give you 2 minutes, just 2 minutes each. What are you hearing? Let's start with Chama. Percy.
Well, myself, I was actually listening to now just now. First, I think I sent something on the other bit, which he was actually saying that he didn't mention the place where they've arrested about 8 UNP, or basically your political party, Mr. The General. They've arrested 8 people who were like, like just going around seeing what's going on. So that group was arrested. So the time the video I had now, I was actually rushing to go and check. So what I wanted to request from you, Mr. the General, when you get in contact with now, because he's still running around, he just came out of he was live about I would say 3 minutes ago. He was live again. Yeah, so okay. Just try to follow that up. And to be honest with you, myself, I'm kind of happy with the turnout. The turnout was marvelous. That we have, okay, even if we don't know what result, who won what and what, we have to thank the Zambian people for a job well done of waking up in the morning to go and vote. There were people from Kanyama at 4 a.m. That's very good. Actually, that's very good. So I hope the results will be as good as the way people woke up in the morning. One thing I know, there's nobody who can wake up at 04 to keep a government in power. Nah. You wake up 04 to change a government. That's what I think. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chama. And over to Bomkelevai. 2 minutes, sir. Just 2 minutes.
I've been just enjoying listening to everyone's contribution. I think from the time you started the program, I was, I think, one of the first on your panel, and I'm happy to be included at the end, but it's okay. The thing is, we, the Zambian people, are positive that something good is about to happen, but never underestimate the people with instrument of power. An African leader with instrument of power can change. You saw what happened in Zimbabwe with Mugabe. You saw what happened in Uganda. You saw what has been happening all over Africa. African leaders don't give up power easily. Conceding, we may say all these things, and we may speak about the people have come out in numbers, and there's a wind of change, but we can see what is going around in the country today. We hear the things we hear of people having voters, pre-marked ballot papers, even though we don't want to dwell so much into that because we need evidence. That is why I dwelled so much on the issue of record as much evidence as possible, because that is the only way to beat a dictator or somebody that want to circumvent the law. So let us just continue advising people to be on the lookout. Let us not instill fear in people that they should not speak out. Let the people speak. If they have seen, they have heard people have been arrested, let them speak out. And we are live here on this stream. The government cannot come here and cut down or rather stop us from speaking. We are not
We are not breaking the law. We are simply saying things as it is. Now, if we have to go to court, yes, it's up to us to adduce evidence. But we can talk, we can speculate if we want. That's the free will we have. So we don't have to be shy to express ourselves for fear that we may end up say things that are not supposed to be said. Let the Zambian people speak out. When they have seen something unfair, something not making any sense, illicit activities, let them speak up. Mr. Lungu is still the president of the Republic of Zambia, and he has the instrument of power. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Mkelewa. You're totally right. What I can only advise to our viewers and the government is that the will of the people is supreme. And I only hope whatever results, we don't know what the results are. But if it's the will of the people, I just hope that Mr. Lungu will be kind enough. Not kind enough. Will follow the footsteps of Dr. Kaunda. I was there when Kaunda lost in 1991. It was one of the most painful things to happen. But Kaunda thought of Zambia first. So that would be my appeal to Mr. Lungu and his team. If they have lost, follow the footsteps of Dr. Kaunda, follow the footsteps of my uncle Arabi, who lost and gave power. So let's wait. But for the Zambians, keep alert and watch whatever is happening. Finally, Clara, over to you. 2 minutes, please.
No, Clara was only commenting. No, I think Clara was reacting to the finger thing.
Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you so much from Scotland and for coming on, and let's watch what is going to happen overnight. The results will be coming on. We will be coming back live tomorrow. Musha, what time are you proposing we should come live? Because
we might have to do it twice so that yeah, because we're going to get lots of constituencies, so we can split it twice, and I hope that we can do that.
So can I suggest that we come live at 6 o'clock Zambian time?
6 p.m. Zambian time, yeah, that works. And then another one.
And then we can repeat another one at 21 hours Zambian time.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Because with that we will have got a lot of results. What we are hearing so far is that everything is peaceful. Kazungula is peaceful. Sesheke is peaceful. We heard that Cabo is peaceful. And we just didn't hear from Eastern Province. Copper Belt is peaceful, Musha, because you're there. So, Frank, unless you've got something else to wind up tonight. Just 2 minutes, sir. Unmute yourself, Frank.
The first thing I would say is keep the peace in everything that you do. Don't spread rumors. In any news that we hear, if we hear something and we've got no evidence about it, let's not pick up the phone and ring our neighbor to say, I've heard this and this, whatever it is. Let us try and keep the peace as much as possible in everything that we're doing, and let the process, let's just wait and follow the process in everything that we do. And if you see anything that you think is going against the law, make sure you report to the right authorities, and let's not take power into our own hands. We've already heard of lives being lost today. It's a process that no lives should be lost, and let us keep it safe. Let us keep it clean for everyone.
Thank you so much, Frank. And I would like to thank Musha, to really thank you for your patriotism, for having traveled to go and vote, for having taken the time to be able to see what is actually happening at home. And we hope that by tomorrow we will be getting the results. Whatever results we will get, let's hope our country will remain peaceful. let's hope if there will be any change of government, let's hope that the change of government will be smooth as usual, and that we will then be continuing to look at the bigger picture, which is the economy. We'll be looking at the bigger picture of unemployment. We'll be looking at the bigger picture of making sure that our people have food. We'll be looking at the bigger picture of making sure that there's medicine in the hospital. And for those of you who are asking why I'm not in Zambia, if there will be a change of government, I want to officially announce that I'll be back home to try and help do anything to try and get things done. So from Scotland, and probably Musha, do you want to sign off from Chiwempala? Because that's a good day today.
Oh, yes, yes, indeed. From Chiwempala, good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Yeah.